When we think of villains in the Marvel Universe, we often picture tyrants, conquerors, and madmen, characters like Thanos, Loki, or Kang. But then there's Erik Killmonger, a villain unlike any other. A man whose pain was real, whose motives were justified, and whose vision, well, let's just say it made a lot of sense. What if Killmonger wasn't truly a villain? What if he was right all along? Stay with me as we take a deep dive into Erik Killmonger's philosophy, his connection to Wakanda, and why his ideas about Black liberation still resonate with audiences today. The making of a revolutionary. Killmonger's story isn't just one of power, it's one of pain. There's an African proverb that says, "The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth." Killmonger was that child. Born in Jadaka, he was the son of Prince Njobu, T'Chaka's brother, who was secretly working to help Black people around the world. But when T'Chaka discovered Njobu's plans, he killed him and abandoned his son in Oakland, California. Imagine this. Wakanda, the most advanced civilization on Earth, had the power to change the lives of Black people worldwide. Yet, they chose isolation. They let the world burn while they thrived in secret. Killmonger grew up seeing the suffering of Black communities firsthand: oppression, poverty, systemic racism, and all the while he knew that his own people, his own blood, had the power to do something about it, but they chose to turn their backs. So Erik did what any abandoned child would do. He adapted. He became stronger, colder, and more determined. He vowed to return to the home that had forsaken him, not as a lost son, but as a conqueror. And he did exactly that. Was Killmonger right about Wakanda? Let's break it down. Wakanda had the technology to heal, to uplift, to protect. They had vibranium, the strongest metal on Earth, capable of revolutionizing medicine, warfare, and infrastructure. But instead of using it to liberate the oppressed, they hoarded it. Killmonger's entire argument was simple. Wakanda should use its resources to empower Black people across the world. Not just with charity, but with weapons, knowledge, and strength to overthrow their oppressors. And while his methods were brutal, his reasoning wasn't wrong. Even Nakia, T'Challa's love interest, believed in a version of Killmonger's ideology. She constantly urged T'Challa to do more for the world. The difference? Nakia believed in diplomacy. Killmonger believed in revolution. The irony? It took Killmonger's actions, his coup, his war, for T'Challa to finally see the truth. By the end of Black Panther, T'Challa opens Wakanda to the world, proving that Killmonger's vision forced change, even in death. The Black Panther versus the revolutionary. Killmonger wasn't just a political radical, he was a warrior. And when he challenged T'Challa, he didn't just win, he dominated. He outmatched T'Challa in combat, threw him off a waterfall, and claimed the throne. But this wasn't just about brute strength. Killmonger had spent his life training, preparing, and strategizing. He understood war in a way that T'Challa never did. While Wakanda remained in isolation, Killmonger fought battles across the world, earning the scars that covered his body, each one a life he took, each one proof of his dedication. And let's talk about those scars. They were inspired by the real-life practice of scarification, a tradition in many African cultures where raised scars symbolize strength, identity, and warrior status. In Killmonger's case, they were a twisted, tragic version of this tradition, each mark a reminder of the battles he fought to survive. Even when he lost, he refused to be imprisoned. His final words, "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors who jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage," were some of the most powerful lines ever spoken in a Marvel film. Even in death, he remained undefeated. Why Killmonger still resonates today? Killmonger wasn't just a villain. He was a symbol of righteous anger, an embodiment of the frustration that comes from seeing injustice and being powerless to stop it. And that's why audiences connected with him. He was a reflection of real-world struggles, of the debate between peaceful reform and radical action. He forced T'Challa to grow. He forced Wakanda to evolve. And most importantly, he forced us to ask the question, was he truly wrong? Killmonger may have been the villain of Black Panther, but he wasn't the movie's true antagonist. The real enemy was complacency. It was Wakanda's refusal to act. In the end, Killmonger changed Wakanda forever. His ideology lived on, shaping T'Challa's reign and Wakanda's future. So what do you think? Was Killmonger truly a villain? Or was he the hero Wakanda needed? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the Marvel Universe.